Hi, I am still in Texas, and sorry for the weird lighting. The place I'm staying, the lighting is just not great, and so it's really hard to it's either way too dark or you're right under the light like I am now, and it's not very flattering. So apologize for that, but did want to get a video out and let you know where things stand with school. And I wanted to bring up something based on an experience I had at my own college just last week that I think is important to share for those of you that are stressed about school and going back, and whether you're even smart enough maybe. For myself right now, we are down to finals week. I have one final that I need to take. It is for physical anthropology. And I anticipate that I will probably be able to do well enough on that exam to get a B in the class. I'm hovering right between an A and a B right now. And the truth is, some of the questions that she puts on the exam are sort of subjective and left to interpretation. So depending upon how the instructor views my answers will kind of depend on whether I get an A or a B on that exam. Quite frankly, I've been shooting for a B for that class all semester, and I think I feel fairly confident that I should be able to get a B in the class. And then that would wrap up fall semester, one step closer to my associates. A couple key things have happened while I've been here. Since I had trouble getting my math placement exam proctored in 2 different states, by the way, and I was able to work out being here, I did go actually over to my college and took the proctoring exam there. And one of the biggest things I wanted to mention this week, and I'll probably talk about it later in an actual more instructional, informational video, but from a personal diary standpoint, my college made me feel like a stupid idiot in person. And when I was done there, after taking the exam, meeting with an advisor who didn't care who I was, didn't discuss my graduation plan with me, and had no interest in me as a student, and I don't think this had anything to do with me personally, this was the experience that I was noticing there, and then I noticed personally. So I left the college, I sat in the parking lot, and I cried in the car, because the reality is I was made to feel extremely stupid. I have a 3.8, and I felt stupid. So the weight of my college experience on campus last week was the worst experience I've had in 18 to 24 months of doing this. And I am grateful that I'm around people that think I'm smart, and that once I got away from it and I was able to regroup and vent about it a little bit, I got back on the horse and continued to ride. But it made me want to tell you that there will be times, sometimes they're early in the process as you're heading down this journey, and sometimes they happen, farther down the road. You could have a 4.0 and have amazing support from instructors, and quite frankly, your college or university staff and processes make you feel like the stupidest person on the planet. And it can beat you down, and it can make you feel really awful about yourself, about questioning your life decisions, about if you're doing it the right thing or not. I think I was so caught off guard that every time I kept trying to engage the advisor to discuss my situation to make sure I would have enough credits to graduate next year and move on to the next university, he didn't, quite frankly, I'm sorry, he didn't give a shit who I was. He didn't care about my grade point average. He didn't bother to look up any of my classes. His advice to me was, this is all we have to offer, and this is what you'll need to take. And when I made it perfectly clear I needed online classes, he registered me for a class that was both a hybrid, which means some of the work was done online, but you still had to go to the school. I don't live here anymore, you idiot. I need to do online. And even if I did live here, the whole reason I do online is so that I don't have to go to the college. And quite frankly, thank God, because if I'd had to go to this college every single day and deal with this type of mentality, I wouldn't be here today. I would have dropped out, and I would have just stayed in my job and given up. Because no matter what support you have in your personal life, a lot of what we do still comes back to how we feel about us and what we think we can or can't do. And if you have the institution telling you that you are, maybe they're not telling you directly, but they're treating you in such a way that it's rude and disrespectful and you're an idiot, they don't care about your background, they don't care where you came from, do not let it discourage you. The minute after I was done crying in the parking lot over my situation, and then I vented to some people later that day, and I came back to where I was staying and I got online, that's when I realized the class he signed me up for was not going to work. And I reworked my own schedule because I've been doing it for 18 months and I'm good at it. I reworked my own schedule and I was able to pick the classes I needed with my graduation plan, including these developmental math I have to take because 15 years in banking, I still don't know how to do linear lines. And quite frankly, I just don't care, and that's part of the problem. I hate math. I hate math. So you'll be hearing a lot about my struggles with math the next 2-3 months for sure, which is kind of funny because I actually started my career in bookkeeping too. So, there's a whole different side between what I call finance, math, and what the hell X, Y, and Z, and K, and W all mean, and does it really matter in the scheme of things for what I'm going to do? No. At least not today. Okay, we can debate this topic at another time. So anyway, trust in yourself. When it beats you down, have your moment, feel awful, and then regroup. Go vent it out to the people because they're going to remind you that you're smart. Go back and regroup on your schedule, your plan, what you're doing, and you will see that you've been successful this far and you can do it. And honestly, if they start beating you down at the beginning of this process, that's why we have Fly Higher, so that you can reach out to people in the community that are going through this, and we can remind you, you are smart. You're amazing. You're smart. You got this. That's why we're all here to support each other. So don't get discouraged, because I sure was last week. This week, not so much. This week, my classes are good to go. Here's how it's going to shape up real quickly, because I don't want this video to get too long, is I'm going to do a fast track. I have to take 2 math classes that don't even count, but I have to take them to get to the one that does. So I have a fast track one that runs from December 15th to January 9th. Then I have one that will start January 12th and run till March. And then I plugged in the math class that counts from March until May. And then also in January to May, full semester, I plugged in a Spanish class. And I submitted my request for graduation in May. I'm not going to go through the ceremony, I don't care about that, but you have to do a submittal to get your certificate, and then they review where you're at to make sure that you've got everything that you'll need to get your certificate. I also refiled my intent to register at Montana State for fall of 2017, because as I'm sort of looking at my schedule and everything, I feel like from a financial perspective that gives me a little more time to get the money ready to go, look for scholarships, look for loans, whatever I need to do, beg, borrow money. It also gives me the summer to either work or do some possible travel, since I've been saving some air miles for that. Just gives me some flexibility. If I decide to at least take 1 or 2 classes through the summer session, I could. But this way I have a set deadline date that I'm going to live by. And, we're 2.5 weeks from launching the GoFundMe page for the Fly Higher Scholarship. So I'm really excited about that. I will say one of the benefits of being here right now is that I've had quite a bit of free time with very less schoolwork to do, that I've actually been able to be working on scripts for videos, working on, just the final details on the scholarship, tweaking the business plan for Fly Higher, and just really focusing on that. Not so much on my writing these 2 weeks, because I am doing errands every single day to help out, but the Fly Higher part really, since we're launching the scholarship funding campaign in January, it was really important to me to get some of that done. So, happy Tuesday. I hope you're all having a wonderful holiday season so far. I will be here in Dallas another week, so I will do a video from here again next week. And if you have any comments or thoughts about, your own experiences, when you went back to school, and I know there's a couple of you because you've messaged me privately, but what would be really helpful for me is if one or two of you could either post some comments about a frustration that you had when you went back to school at 40. What did you find to be your biggest challenge? Were you treated with respect at your school? Were you able to do it online? Did you actually have to go to the classroom to do it? Build the network, and please share the page. We got to get out there so we can fund these scholarships and give some deserving women money next year to help them go to school and realize their dream too. So have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will talk to you all next week. Bye.